Hi there, it's Tracy here from the Papercraft studio. Thank you for joining me today to make my Celebratory Sips Fun Fold card. Now this style of card was originally designed by the lovely Dawn Griffith in America, one of our fellow demos. So this is how it opens up, but I just think it's super cute here, and I knew I wanted to do something with these cocktails, and it's summer, so let's go for it. I'll show you the supplies we need. $11.75, something like that. With it, it's £16. So I'll put the version that I'm using in the links below. Always on my videos, I put the links that go straight to my online shop. So if you want to buy or look at any of the products I'm using, take a look at the link below, and it will take you straight there. I'm not using this stamp set. Again, I'm using the online exclusive Cheers and Sips. I keep calling it Chips and Sears or something like that. Anyway, Cheers and Sips. I really like this, and some matching coordinating dies, I should say. So lots and lots in here. You can see little cocktail umbrella, olive. I'm just going to pull out the sample here. Cut all these for class. So this is off of a big sheet like this. So I've cut these for class. I'm going to use these two this time. There's so many in there though. So I've got one of the larger ones and one of the smaller ones. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did fussy cut them in the end, just because in class sometimes if there's a lot to cut, you know, we could be waiting quite a while. So this was to speed things up a bit, but also I'll show you how easy it is actually to cut them. To make this bit here, you'll need the Stylish Shapes dies, and I've also used them here for the banner. Okay, let me show you the supplies you need. You need a piece of regular basic white, not the thick cardstock. This measures 4 1/8 by 10 15/16. The reason I've done that is so that it folds nicely here. Get a little 16th there. But also the reason I've not used thick is because we need to cut through 2 layers of this with the die and the DSP. So when I say DSP, it's designer series paper, so the pretty papers. So I wanted to just use the regular because it already takes a few times through cutting. I think I go back and forth 3 times. So to get through, because dies don't really like going through that many layers. You need a piece of the designer series paper. This measures 3 7/8 this way by 2 3/4 this way. And then you will need anything else. Another scrap actually, just to cut this white basic white circle, some scraps for this, and some Blackberry Bliss to cut the banner or whatever cut underneath there. I've also got out one of my blend pens because I'm going to show you how I've coloured these. I'm also using, these are the Glass and Gardens embossing folders, another online exclusive. I'm using this on here just to give a little bit of detail. Okay, so let's do the scoring quickly. So with the long side at the top, you're going to score at 3 inches and at 7 inches. Oops, 7 inches. She said off she went. That's all. And then fold those and just line them up here as you go. Give them a little burnish with your bone folder. And you can see then that one folds really nicely over, but I'm just going to open it out for a second just to get it perfectly lined up. Sometimes they go a bit kind of skew if you just need to bring it back into place. Okay, so this is kind of the base. This is this bit. No, sorry, it's the top. It's not at all, it's the top. This is the base. So this bit we're actually going to do a bit of embossing at the bottom here, along here. Okay, so that's on the base. The smallest bit is at the top, so that's going to come over. So I'm going to go ahead and emboss that layer now, and I'll be right back. Okay, with these embossing folders, it's just these 2 plates and the very base plate that you need. So you see I've opened it out before putting that through, so that when this folds up, you get that really nice detail there. Okay, so next we're going to cut the little detail at the top here. So I'm using the largest circle from Stylish Shapes, and then the next one down to cut this little bit here. Okay, so this big one, you want to kind of center top and bottom, side to side as well, to get that cut. Oh, actually, before we do that, sorry, concentrate, Tracy. We're going to stick the designer series paper on. So try not to use too much glue if you can, because we're running it through the big shot afterwards. We don't want a big kind of gluey mess on the plates. I'm saying that, I know it's going to happen in class. But center that so there's a border all the way around. Whichever bit, you know, you get to cut, you still get to see a lot of the sweet details, so don't worry too much about which bit you're getting. So now you're going to hover this about halfway that way, and you're going to cut. Now I'm going to go through 3 times to cut this, so I'll do that and I'll be right back. So you want to check that that's cut all the way through. Now mine might not be quite, but if it's not, you can see it's starting to come away. You can just kind of ease that out, and you can always go back round with your snips. So this bit particularly, I don't think, well, maybe a label or something. Okay, so this is now how we're looking. Sweet. Okay, so we need to cut a circle for it all to go on. Actually, I did cut some earlier, so let's use that. I've also pre-cut the banners just to save a bit of time on the video. It's my class prep because we can't do everything in class. So okay, the other thing we need to do is to cut, stamp the little glasses. So these are all the stamps we're using in this one, so I'm going to use the 2 glasses here, and then I've also got a scrap of paper that I'm going to stamp the, what's this, like rosemary, mint and lemon on, and also there's some little ice cubes if you want to put them on. I did those in Smoky Slate. You can do them, you can emboss them in white, which looks great, but it's not too practical for class. So if I was doing a special, I would probably do that. Okay, so I'm going to bring my glasses in. Momento ink on here for all of them actually. So with Momento, sometimes just give it a little swizzle on there. I think I might have got too much on. And then you're just going to stamp. So you want a bit coming out the top of your glass. You know, a bit of clear coming out the top, and then this one the same, tap tap tap, swizzle a bit, and you want some gap at the top of your glass. That's why I've cut them like this with a bit of a gap at the top, and you can see, oh, got ink on me. You can see how easy that will be to fussy cut. And just while I've got the stamps out, I'm just going to stamp. So the lemon in Lemon Lolly, because, you know, why not? We're just going to fussy cut one. Again, there's a die for that, but sometimes it's just as quick to do that. We're going to stamp the rosemary in Garden Green. That, oops, try to do that one-handed, all of it. And then we're going to stamp the mint in Shaded Spruce, one of my favourite greens. I love it. Spreading them out a bit because we are actually going to cut this one with, well, both of these actually with the dies. What else do we need here? Anything else? Oh, while we're here actually, I might just show you the ice cubes in here. They may not show so well on this one, but on this one I put it at the bottom of the drink, but ice floats, doesn't it? So I probably should put it higher up. So let's put it up here on both of them. There we go. Cute. Right, these back in my box. Okay, so let's fussy cut these drinks quickly. So like I say, pretty easy to cut round. Just leave a bit of the black showing, and just turn the paper rather than the snips, and all will be good. It really doesn't have to be perfect, but obviously you can take a bit more time on that. Now, if you want to, there is also this little bit that you can put through on this one, and it gives this little bit of detail here. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm gonna, shall I do it? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so on this one, I'm just going to use blender pen, I think they're called, and just take some of this ink and just move it around on here, just to fill in. So it's not quite so harsh with the white behind. So you're just picking it up really from the center bits. Just fills in that green a little bit, and then just go over like this to get it clean. I'm going to do the same with the shaded spruce here, and I really like this bit. Just going over all this mint. Don't do it for too long because you will start sort of scuffing the paper a bit. You can do the lemon if you want. I'm not too worried, so I'm going to leave that. Okay, so yes, we're going to cut these out, and then I will be right back. Okay, so like I said, this just gives that little detail if you want on there. Can you see? Just have to know that when you stick that down, the glue will come through a bit. Now, if like me, you haven't quite lined that up properly, you can trim a bit if you want. And actually, I did trim around the bottom a little bit for, oh no, actually I snipped some off the bottom now for when it goes in the drink, thinking about it because it was quite tall. So I'm actually going to snip some off anyway, because that's just going to tuck underneath. So get rid of some of that, like that. Okay, because it was actually too tall. But you can go round these little bits if you want. I'm not too worried. Mint. And so I just put my dies back in for my class. And like I said, I'm just going to fussy cut this because, you know, it's actually slightly offset as a circle. So, you know, by the time you line the die up, you might as well just whiz around like this, really. But, you know, if you've got the time, use the die. Okay, there we go. I mean, slightly lumpy lemon, but that's fine. Lemons aren't perfect, are they? Okay, so that one goes back in. I think that's everything I need for my class again. Oh, and the circles. Just going to put those in. Okay, so here we go. Let's bring this back in. Now, the key here is that you want to be able to open this still with the sprig on. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the base of the mint. Oh, a little bit, Tracy, come on. And pop that in there. Oh, it's so cute, isn't it? And then, like I said, on this one, I found it was quite long, this bit, so I've trimmed it down, but I've also snipped the lemon just up kind of one of the slices and kind of hooked it on this way, like a proper little cocktail. So you could leave it at that if you don't want the rosemary as well. I don't even know what this cocktail's meant to be. It's not one that I would normally drink. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue under this bit here. I really like that paper on the back as well, actually. So I want this side, no, I want that side hooked over. Cute. So yeah, you could just leave it like that. But I'm going to stick this little sprig, again, a little bit of glue at the base. I think it must be an inset day today because I can hear children playing outside. There we go. I think unless it's because of the heat, it's very hot here today. Maybe they've given them the day off. Okay, so we're going to stick this circle in here with a bit of a border all the way around to try and make it a bit even. So you only obviously want glue under this bit of the circle. So if in doubt, do less. I haven't gone halfway up there because, you know, I don't want to risk going over the top. So like I say, border all the way around. Stick that down. That's going to be plenty of room there. And then with this one, you just need to be careful that when you open it, this sprig will still go through. So I would suggest opening this up, positioning it, and seeing where that will sit. So put glue on the back of here, sketchy glue, because like I say, it will come through those little holes if you've done the little kind of feature on the glass. And then, let's see, does that still open? Yay. So if you put it too far up, it just won't open with that sprig like this. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but you kind of want that. And then this one, I've popped on some dimensionals. So just a few on the back. I was so happy with how this came out. especially it's been so warm here in the UK the last few days, and we've got another couple of days of it. I'm really rubbish in this heat, but never mind. Okay, so I'm going to overlap that one a little bit. How super cute is that? I'm hitting it a little bit there, but that's fine. Okay, so Celebrate comes from I think it's the Beautiful Motif, yeah, Beautiful Motif stamp set, but I just want to celebrate on here. So when I put my stamps, I'm going to stamp. Ooh. Actually, I've got a happy birthday. This one's from, oh, it's got a tree in it. Did I bring it out? It's in the catalogue. It's got a nice kind of oak tree in the picture. Can't think what it's called now, but I'll put it in the details below. So we're stamping in Blackberry Bliss for this one, just to tie it all in. Flip that over. Let's see if I can get it straight without getting my head in. Not sure if I have. Oh dear. Right, okay, if this happens and you've got a pen, just fill some in. I might take that to class as well. You can stamp again. Oh, let's stamp again actually. Come on. That's not great. Right, maybe I will get my head in a little bit. Press that down harder this time. I mean, it's not straight, but it's at least it's come out. Okay, so then we're going to pop some glue on here, just in the middle, and offset these two. So that you see a little bit of the banner at either end. I might offset it a bit more. Oh, that's the glue's dried already. It's so hot. I wouldn't be surprised. There we go, that's fine. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back here, or you could just use your little strips along the side. I'm going to pop that on there, and then I'm just finishing off with some, thinking these are called, these are in the Celebratory Sips suite online as well, and I can't actually think what they're called. They're called Strawberry Slush and something. Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink Gems or something like that, but I'll put it in the details below. So we're just going to take a couple here and pop them on. I do have more for class. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Oh, just a stamp inside. Okay, so open this all up. Just we got Celebrate. I know my ladies quite often would like to pop a little something inside as well. I find with the clear mount stamps, so the rubber stamps, sorry, then cling. They cling or clear nowadays? I can't remember what they're called. You have to be careful not to get the edges inked up as well. So let's pop that in there. So I really hope you've enjoyed making my Celebratory Sips fun fold cards. I think it's time for a cocktail. Take care. See you soon. Bye.